All right, Shalom.
Shalom.
First and foremost, before we begin this lesson, we're going to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh,
Yahweh
Bahashem,
Ba'ashem,
Yahushai,
Ba'ashem,
Bahashem,
Ba'ashem,
Mershah
Ba'ashem.
HaKodash. Double honors go out to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. Shalom, Wab Barakim to you, brothers and sisters out there. All right, this is Loya and then myself from the Nashville camp. Lord willing that this lesson is edifying. The title is "The Elect Will Be Exempt." I'm going to get the definition. Well, maybe the etymology, whatever one's better. Yeah, exempt on Edema Online, which is the website we use for looking up the root of words or origins of words. It says exempt as an adjective, late 14th century. It says not subject to. It says remove, take out, take away, free, release, deliver. To buy, which basically buying goes into redeem. Be removed from, take away, and then ultimately, what the elect are going to be exempt from. I was reading this other one is judgment. The judgment that's about to come across the whole planet Earth, especially Babylon here in America. With the thermonuclear missiles. All right, Zechariah 14 and 12. The elect are not going to taste of the second death because they're exempt, and they're exempt because they repented and turned to Yahweh Shemel Shai, and they were covered with the blood of the Lamb. Matter of fact, I'm gonna actually grab this first, real quick. This is Isaiah 55 and 6 to 7. It says, "Seek ye the Lord while he may be found, call ye upon him while he is near. Let the wicked forsake his way, and the unrighteous man his thoughts, and let him return unto the Lord, and he will have mercy upon him, and to our God, for he will abundantly pardon." So at the start of this precept, it referred to the individual as wicked and unrighteous. But through being reborn, John 3 and 1, through repenting and turning back to Yahweh Shemel Shai, it says at the latter end of it, it says that he's going to abundantly pardon his iniquity, his sins, right? The things that he's committed, essentially wipe his slate clean. So he's not going to have to taste of that, that judgment, which is, the hope of all of us, which is why we do these things. We don't just do them just to do it. We're not just here because we ain't got nothing better to do, which I mean, really, we don't have anything better to do when you look at it spiritually, right? But we're here in hopes that, essentially we can work out this plea deal so we can get off the hook so we don't have to perish, in that lake of fire. You got
I,
something, brother?
yeah, I got something to back you up. This is Psalm 32, 1 and 2. It says, Blessed is he whose transgression is forgiven, whose sin is covered. Blessed is the man unto whom the Lord imputed not iniquity, and in whose spirit there is no guile.
All right.
So
And then,
blessed. Yeah,
oh, go
you
ahead,
got to.
Slack.
No,
No,
you
go
go
ahead.
ahead, bro. Okay. It says so blessed. It says blessed is he whose transgression is forgiven. And really that's that's going to be the elect because the ones that's going to be forgiven, they turn to Yahweh Shema Shah with their whole heart, with a contrite spirit. And that was given unto them. Yeah, of course, the whole nation will be forgiven, but it's the elect first, and the rest of the nation will be brought back through the ones who the Lord forgave, who the ones that the Lord delivered, which is the elect. So this is also we talking about the elect, and it says, verse 2, blessed is the man unto whom the Lord imputeth no iniquity, and in whose spirit there is no guile. And that's that Revelation 14, which I'm gonna hold on deck, talks about the elect not having no guile in their mouth. Really they're gonna be teaching the full doctrine in truth and sincerity. They won't be teaching the truth for filthy lucre's sake, for filthy gain. Yeah, you got it out. Who the hell is this?
And
You
then
got
when
you got
you,
it, bro.
with that Psalms 32, we know that, which, all the Psalms wasn't written by King David, but majority of it, to my knowledge, this one is written by King David. And, for those that might not know about King David, of course, he was, one of the greatest kings. He's the third in command over everything. He's the greatest king under Yahushai. Everybody should know who he is. Essentially, he's a very notable figure in the Bible. He's a man after the Most High's heart. And when you read about King David's story, there's a particular time when he had basically had somebody murdered. Well, first he committed adultery with the man's wife, which is already a sin unto death. And then he had that man sent out to battle purposefully with the intent that he's going to die out there. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So essentially, he committed adultery and murder, which are both sins that should have got him stoned. But he was shown mercy because he repented from those things. Right. He's a prime example, of repentance and having a change of heart. The Heavenly Father, he's very merciful and long suffering. So don't think, which Yahushua follows in that stead too, because Yahushua also said to us that basically all manner of sin can be forgiven except blasphemy of the Holy Spirit, which only Esau Edom has committed. Okay, so well, and then of course, if you take that the mark of the beast, you're done, right? But that's not here yet. Which don't take the microchip or the Neuralink or none of that bullshit. Really, you shouldn't be getting anything injected or placed in your body in that sense to begin with. You know, but hold on, dude. I'll grab this Ezekiel. I lost my
All
train of
right.
thought. Ezekiel 9 and verse 4, it says, and Yahweh said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, which we know Jerusalem is a people before it's a place. All right, this represents the Israelites. And set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof, which this applies to Second Peter, the second chapter, when it talks about Lot. Now he was vexed with the filthy conversation of wicked, and talks about how, basically righteous individuals are going to follow in that same type of mindset. In other words, we're going to be fed up with all the bullshit that goes on here in Babylon and across the world. We're going to seek a change of rulership. Essentially, we're tired of the things that's going on now because we know this ain't right. Right, which
Mm-hmm.
is how we know if you're somebody that is always, I guess you could say, positive and looking to build a life here in Babylon the Great, start a family, and you want to support Esau, Edom, and his kingdom. We know that this doesn't apply to you. You're not going to be given that mark of exemption. Because if you actually have a righteous mind, a righteous soul, you're going to be tired of this shit. All right. You're going to understand that this is hell. And the only way out is to seek Yahweh by Shemel Shai. All right. Which most of our people aren't going to do. All right. It says, well, actually, I finished that. Let me get that word from Mark. Because this is the mark that you want to get. H8420, and it says Thawa, which means a mark as a sign of exemption from judgment. Which there was actually a brother that had a dream or a vision about nuclear destruction, and he was talking about how the people that were saved, they had basically they had a mark, on they had an exemption from judgment, which this is a spiritual mark, which it represents, this knowledge is truth. Right? Isaiah 33 and 6 says, wisdom and knowledge is going to be the stability of thy times. Right? There's nothing else that is going to actually keep you stable in the times of Jacob's trouble, other than this knowledge, which is also where the famine of the word comes in, because people aren't going to be able to access that stability that we're going to have in that day.
Mm-hmm. I got some. This is Psalm. I'm going to be in Psalms for a good little minute. This is Psalm 33 and 18. Uh, yeah, it says, "Behold, the eye of the Lord is upon them that fear Him, upon them that hope in His mercy." Because the ones that were delivered in a dream, they had faith, they had hope in Yahweh Shemel Shai and His mercy. You know, really, no one else do. None, the 2/3 they don't have no hope in Yahweh Shemel Shai. We tell them about the destruction. What they say, how y'all gonna get out of this? Why the fuck you worried about us anyway? We're doing what we're supposed to be doing. Whether we die for the Lord or delivered from death. Scripture says how some ain't gonna taste death since they've been born. We're doing what we're supposed to be doing. You're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. You're not serving the Lord. We made a covenant with Him. All right. It says, verse 19, to deliver their soul from death and to keep them alive in famine, because it's going to be famines happening. But the main point is to deliver their soul from death. So That's what we hope for. The second death, fuck getting your head cut off. That's for a good reason. You're going to receive a reward for getting your head cut off for your Yahweh shot. But you want to be delivered from that second death. And it says, verse 20, our soul waited for the Lord. He is our help and our shield. It says, for our heart shall rejoice in him because we have trusted in his holy name, which is Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. It says, let thy mercy, O Lord, be upon us according as we have hope in thee. So the elect, all we got, well, Lord will, we are the number. All they have is hope in Yahweh Bahashem Shai. And I'm going to get this Psalm 85 and 1. It says, Lord, thou hast been favorable unto thy land. Thou hast brought back the captivity of Jacob, and that's what we're waiting on for. You know, this is get up, this for us to get up out of captivity. Verse 2: Thou hast forgiven the iniquity of thy people. They got that mark. Thou hast covered all their sins, Salah. So that's what we're waiting on. The Lord will be a part of that number to be found blameless. You got it out.
I got Second Esdras chapter 9. Uh, I'll just start at 1, kind of run through it. It says, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. And when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. Right, which just shows ultimately too that Yahweh Shemal Shai has ordained all of this. Everything was already declared from the beginning. It was already laid out and established. Right, which is why we really don't understand why Esau feels like he can upset prophecy. Right, the scriptures tell us that Isaiah 55 and 11, basically the words of the Lord, they don't go out void. They're going to accomplish that which he pleases. So everything
Mm-hmm.
he says it's set in stone. All right, same with how the Lord told us America is going to be destroyed by thermonuclear missiles. So it
Yep.
doesn't matter what you do. I don't agree with that. It doesn't matter. That's the thing. It's just like when you were a kid and your dad say, you know what, you're not going to that party tonight. You're gonna stay inside and do homework. Well, I don't agree with that. You're gonna be in that room. It doesn't matter. It doesn't change anything. You don't argue with the Most High. This isn't a debate. Lord ain't debating shit. He's telling you what it is and what it ain't. Right. So verse 5 it says, for like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. Even so, the times also the highest have plain beginnings and wonder, and powerful works and endings and effects and signs. And everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith whereby ye have believed shall be preserved from the said perils and shall see my salvation in my land and within my borders, for I have sanctified them for me from the beginning. All right, so this is going in the same thing that we're talking about, being the elect being exempt from the judgment that's at hand, which is why it said they're going to be preserved from the said perils. It doesn't mean that the elect are going to be taken out of the perils, right? We're still going to have to Yahweh desire were of the elect. We're still going to have to endure. We're still going to be in that furnace of affliction. We're still going to have to go through a lot of terrible things. But Yahweh Shemel Shai is going to preserve you. He's going to make sure that you make it through the other side of that. And ultimately, before those missiles, before that fire touches you, you're going to get beamed up. You're not going to taste of the second death, right? The Lord never said you're going to be posted up in the cabin with 5 wives and 3 bottles of wine. That's not promised to anybody. I don't know where Jake gets that idea from, but get that shit out your mind. We're gonna be taken care of, right? We're not gonna be destitute, but it don't mean you gonna be living lavish by any means.
Mm-hmm.
That was it on that though.
All right. Let me see. Damn. Let me see. Because we basically talking about the hope of the elect. You know. So I'm gonna get this. This is Second Ezra 7, and I'm gonna start at 18. It says, "Nevertheless, the righteous shall suffer straight things, and hope for the wide, because the brother, like the brother saying, we all gonna go through the same or similar situations. It says, nevertheless, the righteous shall suffer straight things and hope for wide. So the righteous gonna go through what they go through. But what's the difference between us and the two-thirds? We have hope. They don't have hope. They're gonna put their hope in Esau Edom's system, which will cause them to be destroyed. And ultimately they're gonna be slaves unto Esau Edom, because when they take that MOTB, it is through for them. They have chosen their God. You know, it says, for they have done wickedly, have suffered the straight things, yet shall not see the wide. So they don't see the hope. They don't have hope in Yahweh Shem Shai. So they don't see the wide. They're gonna walk this path of destruction, and that's it. Hey, we gonna take the MOTB. We need this to survive in this man's system. We're gonna do what he say. We're gonna be servants unto Esau Edom, because it says that the MOTB is a badge of servitude. So they're gonna choose their God, and many of them have already. So no, the righteous, we're gonna suffer certain things. Well, guess what? We have hope. By grace are you saved. So we're gonna need that grace, hope, faith, all in one. Now I'm gonna get this too. This Revelation 14, since I quoted it, because we're singing that kainos, that refresh song, this new song. So Revelation 14, and I'm started 1. It says, and I looked, and lo, a lamb stood on the Mount Zion, and with him 144,000 having his father's name written in their forehead. That is really a father's name and a son's name. All right. It says, and I heard a voice from heaven as the voice of many waters, and as the voice of great thunder. And I heard the voice of harpers harping with their harps, and they sung as it were a new song before the throne and before the four beasts and the elders. And no man could learn that song but the 144,000 which were redeemed from the earth. So the 144,000 are going to be able to understand this song that we're singing. What's the song? What it consists of? What's the lyrics? Yahweh Shai is coming back. Yahweh Shai is the name of the Lord. Yahweh is the name of the Heavenly Father. America will be destroyed, which is Babylon the Great. World War III is going to happen. The MOTB is the chip, and so on and so forth. Only Israel can be saved, no other nations, unless you're an Israelite. And that's the song. It says, but verse 4, these are they which were not defiled with women. They weren't defiled with other philosophies. You weren't mixing and mingling this truth along with philosophies of the world, religions of the world. These are they which were not defiled with women, for they are virgins. These are they which follow the Lamb whithersoever he goeth. These were redeemed from among men, being the first fruits unto the Most High and to the Lamb. And they were marked with that spirit, the walk with that spiritual mark from exempt from judgment. It says, and in their mouth was found no guile, for they are without fault before the throne of the Most High. They are without fault, found blameless. So no matter what you niggas say, you guys in these other camps, the elect will be found blameless. You know, but yeah, you got it out.
Got Revelations chapter 12, verse 10 to 11. It says, and I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength in the kingdom of our God and the power of his Mashiach. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which is talking about Esau Edom. Which this is a future prophecy. This hasn't happened yet. All right, we're still waiting for him to go down. All right, Second Ezra 6 and verse 9. That's how once he goes down, that's when our beginning is. That's when Jake can actually start to live. All right, because we're not doing anything except existing at this point in time. It says, which accuse him before our God day and night. And this is basically talking about how Esau sets traps for Jake to go off. And then basically he's trying to convince the Most High to stop dealing with us by pointing out actions that we're doing right now. Which was, you're the last person that needs to be accusing anybody of anything, you piece of shit ass nigga. But this is verse 11. It says, and they overcame him, talking about the accuser, all right, which is also known as Satan, the deceiver, the adversary, everything bad, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Death. It says, and they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, and and they love not their lives unto the death, which is talking about how basically, the elect, they're going to be known for their willingness to sacrifice everything. They're presenting their bodies as a living sacrifice. They're applying the words of Yahushua when he said, "He that seeketh his life shall lose it, but he that loseth it for my sake, basically will receive it." Right. And
Yep.
that's exactly what they're doing. That's why, like the brother said, you might find yourself in a position of a martyr, which most believers won't. But if you do, and whether you do or not, everybody should have the willingness of mind to give their life for the Lord. All right.
Hmm.
Just like
Yep.
Yahushua gave it for you. That was it on that.
All right, I got some Zephaniah 3 and 11 says God's promise of forgiveness. Is Zephaniah not 11. Damn. 3 chapter 3 verse 11 through 14. It says, "In that day shalt thou not be ashamed for all thy doings, wherein thou hast transgressed against me, for then will I take away out of the midst of them that rejoiced in thy pride, and thou shalt no more be haughty because of my holy mountain. I will also leave in the midst of thee an afflicted and poor people, and they shall trust in the name of the Lord," which is Yahweh Bashim Shai. "The remnant of Israel shall not do iniquity." The remnant, the elect, the one third, shall not do iniquity, nor speak lies, neither shall a deceitful tongue be found in their mouth. For they shall feed and lie down, and none shall make them afraid. And that's getting ready to happen. But first, this remnant, they're not gonna be filled with deceit, sin. Of course, we still go off, right? But remember, scriptures talk about being found blameless. So someone is going to be found blameless. Why? Because they trust in the Lord. They're not perverting the doctrine, you know, and ultimately they're seeking the Lord in truth and sincerity, you know, and it's ultimately to be saved. It says, "Sing, O daughter of Zion, shout, O Israel, be glad and rejoice." And the Lord's going to ultimately wipe our slate clean. That's what we're seeking, you know. But yeah, that's all I got. Unless you got something else.
Yeah, I got one more.
Okay.
Um, you never got Psalms 91, right?
No, I didn't. Oh no, I didn't get that. Nope.
That's what I got. I just
Okay.
want to make sure you didn't bring it out already.
Okay.
It's Psalms 91 and verse 1, and then I'm going to probably jump down to 7, just get the point. It says, "He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty." And the secret place is not some club hangout, in Manhattan or something like that. The secret place is representative of this knowledge, right? Which, once again, most people don't have, which is why, it really baffles us when a man or a woman, even, but especially dealing with the men, will receive this knowledge and just completely neglect it, won't apply it, or, like the brother was going into, they'll pervert doctrine, look for vainglory, filthy lucre's sake. Most people don't have this knowledge. So why aren't you grateful that you have it? Why are you trying to go above and beyond? Somebody will come in, hear the word, they'll learn 3 Hebrew words, and then all of a sudden they want to be an apostle. And you just bugged out. It
Mm-hmm.
says, shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty, meaning you're going to be protected and taken care of, which just connects with the Ezekiel 9 and 4, the mark of exemption. All right, this connects with Isaiah 33 and 6. This connects really with everything dealing with the elect being delivered, because this is a big part of it. Before you get physically delivered, you have to get mentally delivered. Your mind has to leave this place. So now I'm going to jump down to verse 7. It says, 1,000 shall fall at thy side and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. And this proves that you're going to be in the midst of these things, right? But it's not going to touch you, just like back in ancient Egypt when the death angel was going around taking people out, and those different plagues were befalling, different people, right? But it wasn't affecting, those that had the blood of the lamb, those that were following the orders, showing obeisance unto Yahweh Shai. Right, verse 8. It says, "Only with thine eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked." And that's why ultimately there's no reason for us to fret or to worry, because this is the reward of the wicked. All the
Mm,
heathens and the two-thirds, and the rebels across the globe, they're all going to be destroyed. Ultimately, we know the scriptures tell us that the elect are going to be saved. And if you believe that you fill the shoes of one of those members, then just continue to fight, continue to strive for the truth on the death. You have nothing to worry about. Everything's already going to be taken care of. All right, we talk about predestination. So ultimately, if that's who you are, if you believe you're of the elect, then just continue to serve the Lord. Everything else is going to fall into place. All right, Matthew 6:33. Don't worry about anything going on in a sense of stressing out over it, letting things consume you. Just stay focused.
mm-hmm. Because in the Apocrypha it says, "Then shall it be known who are my chosen." So when certain things happen, especially in the times to come, you're gonna know that you are chosen of the Lord. So just remain humble because you don't know if you the elect or not. You know, certain things you might see 144 on the car. Yeah, that's great, but that's not for you to get prideful. You know what I'm saying? When you start seeing 444, 144. That's saying for you to keep going, keep doing what you're doing, remain humble, and just play your role. You know, and the Lord will, He'll deliver you if you are that number. But damn, I was looking for something. I think you had quoted it, but yeah, I think you quoted it. Let me see.
Remember how it
Yeah,
went?
yeah, that's it. Romans 8. Did you already bring that out?
No, I don't think so. No.
I'll bring this out and it'll be it for me. This is Romans 8, and I'm gonna start at 20. I'm gonna start at 28. It says, "And we know that all things work together for good to them that love the Most High, to them who are called according to His purpose, for whom He did foreknow, He also did predestinate to be conformed to the image of His Son, that He might be the firstborn among many brethren. Moreover, whom He did predestinate, them He also called, because many are called, but few are chosen. Moreover, whom He did predestinate, them He also called, and whom He called, them He also justified, and whom He justified, them He also glorified." And that's getting ready to happen. It says, now you know what? I ain't gonna read that. He also must be exception. Yeah, that's all I want. So basically, just going into, you being predestinated. You remain, you call, you remain in your lot. Well, the righteous lot. Then, hey, you chosen for this, man. You know, and the Lord's gonna justify you, glorify you, justify you. You know, you're gonna be found blameless. But yeah, that's all I got out.
Yeah, I ain't got nothing else.
Okay.
So, Lord, one that this lesson was edifying. Once again, the topic was the elect will be exempt, all right, exempt from the judgment that's at hand very soon. All right, Lord willing is edifying. Before we close, we're going to give all praises, glory,
Yeah.
and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha HaKodash. Double honors go out to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom.
Shalom.